Alright guys, first morning of practice here. We got 2 days of practice on Sam Rayburn for the first pro circuit event. It's pretty cold out this morning. I think it's like 38 right now. It's supposed to be getting some rain in a couple hours here. But we only got 2 days of practice, so we got to make all the time we can count out there on the water. And so we're going to be up there sunrise to sunset today for sure. Trying to figure these bass out. I've never been over to Sam Rayburn, so going to be doing a lot of looking around. So we're going to pull the boat cover off, unplug the charger, gas up, and head over to the lake. Alright, we made it to the ramp here, Sam Rayburn. It's supposed to rain here in a couple hours, so I think I'm going to leave the big camera here in the truck so it doesn't get all wet. But I'm going to take the GoPros out there, try to film the whole entire practice if I can, and kind of give you guys updates what I'm doing. If I'm catching them, hopefully I'm getting a few bites, or at least seeing a few fish on the graph if I end up graphing some offshore stuff. I don't really have like a big game plan right now. I'm just gonna kind of get out there, maybe try a few shallow spots, maybe idle over a few deep spots, and kind of see if they're holding out a little bit deeper or if they're kind of up shallow. So just gonna kind of base it on what I'm feeling once I get out there, what it looks like, stuff like that. So gonna put the big camera up, get out on the water, and hopefully we find them on day one of practice here. Alright guys, just pulled up first spot. Started idling a little bit at the mouth of this creek or pocket, whatever you want to call it. The water temp's pretty low for over here. I think it was right at 51 degrees. So I think those fish are going to kind of be pulled out from some of those spawning areas. But I just scanned over a nice clump of trees offshore. We're in 23 feet of water, and it looked like there was a few fish sitting in them. So we're gonna try it out. I've got a drop shot rigged up, Carolina rig, a jig, and we're gonna kind of fish around here, see if we can get a few of those fish to bite. So I actually had a fish on right there, first cast out onto the brush. There was a boat right next to me, so I kind of just let him run around, and he got me hung up in the brush. Lost my Carolina rig, but that's a good sign, right? Spotted bass down there. I was kind of figuring that's what it was. It kept hitting my bait and I wouldn't hook up with them. Spots. Fish number 2, little tiny largemouth. Not what we're looking for, but maybe it's a sign that there's a couple fish in here. Cool of them out there, but small. Hopefully there's a few bigger ones mixed in. Maybe they say out here that the smaller ones will mix in with the big ones, so we'll see. There we go. Finally got us a keeper on the drop shot. Thinking a keeper. I'm gonna measure him. Yep, he's a keeper. Brush piling 23 foot of water. Might be figuring something out here. No giants, but at least we're getting bit now. That one probably, I don't know, he'd be close to a keeper, probably not. That's definitely a keeper. Biggest one so far, not a giant, but starting to figure him out here. Not liking the drop shot. I'm gonna see if they won't bite something else now. I know they like the drop shot. All right, day 2 of practice, last day of practice. They only give us 2 days in these things to figure them out. Not a lot of time, especially on bodies of water I've never been to before, but it's all part of the game. We gotta figure them out one way or the other. So, see what we can't do today. Find a few bigger fish. I got a couple of spots that I found yesterday, some deep spots. They were like really deep, like 25 to 30. Big brush piles offshore, and I could see the fish all over them on the live scope, and I tossed the drop shot in there, and if I hit the brush, it was almost a guarantee that I got bit. So that's kind of a good sign. Only bad thing was I didn't really catch any big ones off of it. But I never really stayed on any of them for too long, so I'm not sure how many fish are actually out on them. Could be one of those deals where I pull up and fish it for a couple hours and catch a bunch of fish and a couple of good ones mixed in, not really sure. Like I said before, they say that the smaller ones will mix in with the big ones, that you just kind of have to weed through the small ones and you'll just randomly catch a big one, so kind of hoping that's the case. But I'm gonna scan around a little bit today. Launched in the Caney Creek area today, and want to fish some shallow stuff just to see if there's kind of a shallow bite going on, and kind of base my game plan on whether I catch them better shallow or deep as to what I'm going to do on Thursday, the first day of the tournament. So we're going to fish some shallow stuff. Definitely going to scan around, see if there's any offshore schools out this way too. Midday, if I'm not really feeling it, what I might end up doing is going to launch over where I was catching them yesterday and just kind of expanding on those areas. So we'll kind of see how the day goes. Brought the big camera out with me today, so kind of go through what I'm doing a little bit more today. It's not supposed to rain, so we'll be able to film a little bit more today. But stay tuned, guys. Let's see if we can't catch them today. All right, so when I'm scanning offshore, this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for right here. You can see there's a tree right there, and some fish sitting off of it, some fish sitting off to the left of it too right there. So we're gonna get rigged up and see if I can't catch a few of those fish. Not a bad one there. See what they weigh. I guess he's probably just under 2. Pounder. Oh, that's a giant. That's a giant. I mean a giant. Catfish. Thought I had a 10-pounder there. All right, switched areas of the lake. Just wasn't feeling it. Couldn't really get on anything. Found some grass down there, but didn't get bit. It was all in pretty shallow water. So put in over here by where we're launching out of for the tournament, and just gonna go look for more deep spots. That's the only way I've really been able to catch them. So just gonna go try to find as many of those as I can and just roll with that. And hopefully those big ones show up offshore, and we'll be able to catch them out there. That's a keeper. That's not a bad spot. Well, that is it. 2 short days of practice. Found a couple of fish, but we'll see if they end up being any size. Did you do any good, Brian, today? No. No? Not good?
No.
Not good. Not good.
Bad, David.
Bad.
Day for me today. I didn't really find anything at all. The best fish I had today is on this plate I'm about to eat. This might be why I'm catching it.
Well, I kind of expanded on some areas that I found yesterday. And yeah, I found like the specific type of brush pile that they're hanging on. Like every time I found the type of tree, I don't know what kind of tree it is, but it shows up different on the screen. I think it's just a taller tree or something. And
the ones that grow like
the ones that are like way up.
I think that's bamboo.
Maybe.
Like.
Whatever kind of trees those were, every time I'd pull up on one, I could get bit.
Really? Like casting or?
Yeah. Well, I was casting a drop shot, but I was just dragging it through.
I probably should have cast it. If I over and I didn't see any, I didn't fish it.
Yeah, but they were like the biggest one. I probably caught one today that was 2.5.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I have probably 15 of them.
Oh yeah.
I think if I run them, I think 10 to 12 pounds, I think, and then maybe if I catch a good fish, then I'll have a decent bag.
You gotta catch what you can catch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I went up shallow and I couldn't catch anything shallow. Like I found hydrilla and nothing.
yeah, I found
Nothing.
hydrilla. I trapped, cranked, shad rat, all of that stuff. None of that worked.
Yeah, I did that. I did it this morning, and I didn't get bit, so I just went back to looking for those trees. Every one I pulled up to, I got bit, so I just spent the rest of the day just looking for them.
I was on my mind, and then I just didn't do it.
So that's what the game plan is. Just run all those trees, see what we come up with.